Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It's Kabaddi Keenan back with another video, and today we are breaking down the Puneri Paltan, your Season 10 champions, who unfortunately had a horrible fall off last season, Season 11. Yes, they could not repeat, didn't even make it back into the playoffs, which was disappointing for a team that was so strong in Season 10. They seemed like they changed the face of the game with the way that they played that season. To where you thought that maybe they could repeat potentially and, storm through teams as they did in Season 10. But Season 11 proved the complete opposite, as they ultimately just completely fell apart about halfway through the season, which maybe was a little bit before halfway, but it all started with Aslam Inamdar getting hurt and being out for the entire season. I think once that happened, their team just sort of cratered, and then they lost their coach, BC Ramesh. So for them to go from champions to 8th place in one season, not the greatest. Again, they seemed like a team that had the potential to potentially repeat. Obviously, they lost Shadlu, which big piece to lose, but they seemed like they had the team that was strong enough to be able to weather that storm of not having a player of that caliber on the team anymore. But again, with the loss of Aslam Inamdar and then again the loss of BC Ramesh, they just could not hold it together. Like their team, it's like they lost all veteran and sort of leadership that they had. I mean, Aslam, and this is an incredible captain for that squad, and I think you really saw his absence and how much he really means to that team. It's like without him, they had no direction, and you could almost see it on the mat watching their games. It was just like, it's like they had zero clue. If they fell behind, it was like they had no idea what to do to try and come back. And even in games where they were kind of ahead, it almost seemed like it was iffy on if they'd be able to keep that lead, to be able to win a match. So it was a telling season for them in terms of what they're really lacking and what they sort of needed to focus on coming into this season, which they needed to get some sort of veteran and leadership quality outside of Aslam Inamdar. Because again, if he gets hurt, you got to have someone else to turn to, or you have to have some people that can sort of step up in his absence, because that just did not happen last season. So it's nice that he's back because he's clearly needed on that squad. But looking at their offense, their Raiders, that to me looks like their strongest area right now. I mean, they signed Sachin, who's coming off of a terrible season with the Tamil Talivas, which was sad to see because he did so phenomenally well with the Patna Pirates in Season 10, sorry. And you would have hoped that would translate, but it just didn't. And so hopefully he can find that form again that he had in Season 10 and bring that back to this squad in Season 12. So Sachin, a good sign for them. And then you have Mohit Goyat, who amazing. Like out of all the players last season who held that team together, it was him. Like hands down, like he was the guy that was holding that squad down after Aslam Inamdar went down with an injury. So all credit goes to him, because watching him, without him, Puneri Paltan would have been horrendous last season if not for him. So Mohit Goyat, like props to you last season. You did your thing for real. Like if I didn't have this one in my hand, I'd clap for you. You got Pankaj Mohit, who was another player behind Mohit Goyat who held that team down. Like I think these two together, these two were the reason why they won the matches that they won. I think without the both of them, it would have just been a sorry season for the Paltan. It just would have been, because watching them, they didn't really have much on defense. It's like they just couldn't hold teams back like they did, the season before, where their defense was just like seemed completely stacked, and it was like no one could do anything against their defense. Last season didn't seem the case, and it was like they really did rely on their Raiders to kind of carry them, and it was these two who did it. I think with the combination of Sachin, Mohit Goyat, and Pankaj, I think those three can really hold this team down offensively. And then you got Aditya Shinde, who I like him a lot. He's a younger guy. To be honest, he's their fifth, I would say, because again, you have Aslam Inamdar, who is classified as an all-rounder, which I'll touch on him a little bit later. But he really does function more sort of as a raider than a defender. He's very good like at both. Like he is probably one of the most even all rounders, but he does slightly, I would say, lean towards a raider more so than a defender. So I would say it's Mohit Goyat, Pankaj Mohit, and Sachin and Aslam Inamdar, who are kind of like their main four raiders. But Aditya Shinde, he is a very good like fifth raider for them. Like the fact that they have that many raiders like that deep is incredible. And then on top of that, there's a sixth raider that they have with Muhammad Nababakash. He does a good job being able to come in and get points as well. So I think their raiders are insanely deep. They got a new guy, Stuart Singh. I don't know if this is his first season. I feel like I've heard good things about him. If I'm thinking of this as the right person, but I think again their Raiders are by far their strongest asset to this team going into season 12. Now their defenders, they have solid defenders. Again, it's some of the people that you had from last season, mainly Abhinash, who I really like him. I think he's a solid defender that they have, one of their best ones clearly. And to go alongside Dadaso Pujari, who he's a young guy, but I do remember him standing out last season. Like he was one of the younger guys, clearly, I think, in the league and just on the team. But you can see the potential for him. And I think if he continues upon I would say the success that he had last season. Again, the team didn't do that great, but I think you did see some of their younger players start to like really shine through. And I think he's one of them. So I think if he can continue to learn and grow into his abilities and grow as a defender, I think he can be a standout player for them going this season. So I'm looking forward to see how he does. And then you got Gaurav Khatri, another solid defender. So these three are definitely going to be the ones that they're going to be leaning on defensively alongside Aslam Inamdar, who again I said is one of the most evenly, all-rounders in the game. So he's definitely going to contribute defensively as well. But it's like pure defenders, it's these three that they're definitely going to be leaning on for the season. And then the all-rounders, as I've said, Aslam Inamdar, he's one of the best in the game. It was a sad state to see him get hurt last season and see that he was out for the entire season. Obviously, you saw the repercussions of that. They just fell apart without him, not only just as a player, but as their captain. You can tell he just really does a good job leading this team to success. And without him, again, we saw what happened. So to have him back, I think, is huge for the Paltan. They got Gurdeep as well, who should do his job providing depth. So overall, I think the Puneri Paltan are a team that can recover from how they did last season. I think they have the potential to make the playoffs. I think there's going to be that team that's sort of, I won't say a wild card, but they're that team where they could go one of two ways. They can do really, really well, or they're just going to be like this middling team. I don't think they're going to be a team that lingers towards the bottom of the table. I would be surprised if that happens. I think there's just too much talent on this squad to see them in the bottom quarter of the table. I think they're gonna be 8 or above. I think again 8th place is their absolute bottom for this season. I think they can do better. I think they should have what it takes to make the playoffs. Do they have enough to win a championship? I don't think so. I'd be surprised if they won the championship this season. But if they do, it's because everything's fallen in place with them. And with that, I mean, you got a healthy Aslam Inamdar. You got Sachin, who finds his form again. And then you got these defenders who step up their game. I think if all those things go correctly, then they do have the potential to win a championship. But I wouldn't bet on it. I think they'll make the playoffs. But I think that's about as far as they get. I don't think they're going to win the championship. I don't even think they're going to make it to the championship game. But nonetheless, I'm interested to see how they do this season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch y'all in the next one.